Hi everyone, welcome to VRC with Gaurav. In this video, we will take a look at the first RC passage from CAT 2022 slot 2. As we all know that in 2022, CAT was taken in 3 slots, morning, afternoon, evening. Evening slot 3, all passages have been made and uploaded already. In this video, we will take a look at, as the title says, slot 2's first RC passage. Every slot has 4 RC passages, so gradually we will go through all the passages one by one. Okay then. Without any further delay, let's dive into it. So as usual, I have highlighted the unique or less commonly used words in the passage, which are important for the comprehension and also with respect to tackling the questions. The passage as such has used very straightforward vocabulary, only about these 3 words, which are a bit unusual if you are somebody very relatively new to English language. However, if you are very comfortable, used to, habituated to a bit of reading here and there, then even these words might be easily understood by you. Okay, so let's go and take a look at what the passage says, and then we will attack the questions. Okay, then coming to the passage, I'll plot what each paragraph is saying one by one. Upon first reading, the passage is not a great fun piece. Okay, abstract hai. The author hasn't also not given us any relevant examples here and there to make our reading easier. So upon first read, the flow of the passage or the content of the passage is very seems very abstract in nature. Of course, the genre is culture, something coming from anthropological sciences. Okay, so one by one we'll take a look at what the paragraphs tell us. 4 paragraphs important. The last one is actually very basic, rounding off the narrative. So let's take a look. And yes, this passage is also one of those rare cases where the author is going in the generalization zone himself. Okay, making a broad sweeping statement at least about one aspect of human life. So what exactly is it? Let's take a look. Now in the first paragraph itself, the generalization comes in. The author is saying that all humans, or rather all modern humans, today's humans. Okay, so what about them? All modern humans, or almost all modern humans, understand, perceive music. Okay, कि न्यू ह्यूमंस, मॉडर्न ह्यूमंस जो है, सबको म्यूजिक समझ में आती है. Okay, he started off this first passage with the same statement. He's also rounding it off with the same assertion all over again. Okay, and he is saying कि when I give this statement that yes, all humans today make music, तो आ जाएंगे भाई 4 लोग कुछ ना कुछ आपत्ति जताने के लिए, कुछ ना कुछ क्रिटिसिज्म करने के लिए कि नहीं नहीं, हर कल्चर में म्यूजिक का क्रिएशन का डेफिनेशन अलग है. सम कैन क्रिएट म्यूजिक, सम कैन नॉट, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. ऑथर सेज ठीक है यार, आप लोग शांत हो जाओ. ये जो भी आप बोल रहे हो, इस प्रकार के एक्सेप्शन, इस प्रकार के एडिशनल कैवियर, all of them are moot. Moot meaning, as I gave you in the glossary right now, something pointless. Okay, author is very confident in his assertion. भाई देखो, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ, I am not saying all humans can create music. You don't take that make literally. What I mean is कि सारे human beings को capacity है, capability है to perceive music, to understand. Okay, धुन वगैरह, आवाज, 2 आवाज में फर्क, ये सारे human beings को समझ में आता है. And that is why he has come up with a word he himself says is a bit anti. Okay, not very commonly used these days, musicking creatures. Note the K in there, something unusual. All right. Anyway, let's go to the second and third paragraph now. Very good, very interesting paragraphs actually, the second and the third one. What does the author say in here is कि देखो, let's consider this as the pool of all human abilities. This rectangle, imagine this as the set of all inherent capacities that we have. तो उसके अंदर से author says there are some capacities inside us humans which make us capable of 2 different things at the same time. And what are those? One of them is ability to understand language, ability to speak in a particular language, communicate in it, linguistic abilities. ठीक है, linguistic capacities, I have underlined this in the second para. Next up, the same things, same capacities which give us the ability to crack a language, to understand a language. Those very things, those very inherent capacities giving us the ability to understand. Okay, fair enough. So author is saying that there is a common root at the base of understanding music and language. Then he goes a step ahead and he says कि नहीं ये बात पूरी खत्म नहीं हुई यहाँ तक. There are some other human abilities additional one to जो आपको म्यूजिक समझने में मदद करती है, but not necessarily involved in language वाला scene also. Okay, author has said here, I'm underlining it. Most of these capacities overlap with non-musical ones, such as linguistic capabilities, but a few may be distinct and dedicated purely to musical perception. Okay, so from this, then in third paragraph, author takes the narrative forward. Now, what is he saying? He is saying that देखो human beings को ना symbols बनाना, symbols के through बातें करना, ये भी बहुत अच्छे से आ जाता है. Okay, pardon for the poor usage of space. Let's jot it down again. Okay, so we have another abilities to communicate or to use symbols. Now, regarding this ability to handle symbols, understand them, author is making thoda sa ek off-track observation, something not super crucial when it comes to the question. What he says that कि language समझने में और symbols को समझने में there is a lot of intersection, there is a lot of overlap area, but music को समझना ना समझना is not a part of it. So in a way, language, linguistic capacities and symbol को understand वाले capabilities, they go hand in hand. Music perception is a bit separated from them. Okay, this is what the third para is saying. Not super crucial to the narrative here. Fourth para is something very important. Okay, so let's go take a look at what does the fourth para says. Very interesting. Fourth para says what? कि देखो, imagine कि this is a human timeline. Okay, and let's say that all of us are here at the far extreme today. तो author says कि अगर आप 20,000 साल पहले जाओ, let me mark it as minus 20k. If you go back 20,000 years, so human beings at that stage at minus 20k and human beings today, इन दोनों में म्यूजिक परसेप्शन एबिलिटी सिमिलर मिलेगी. You will not find any difference. But if you keep on going backwards, let's say at minus 40k stage or even at minus 1 lakh year wala stage, if you go back 1 lakh years, so human beings at this juncture and human beings today, इन दोनों ग्रुप्स का एबिलिटी टू अंडरस्टैंड म्यूजिक इज गोइंग टू बी डिफरेंट. Meaning thereby what the author is trying to drive home is this point. He understanding music, ability to perceive music developed gradually. It's like a gradual development when it comes to human beings understanding music. तो ठीक है, ये प्रोसेस बहुत स्लो है, इतना स्लो कि 20,000 ईयर्स में आप अगर पीछे जाओ तो इन दिस टाइम स्पैन यू विल सी नो डिफरेंस. दैट इज व्हाट द फोर्थ पैरा इज सेइंग. Okay, let me underline it for you. If we look back 20,000 years, we reached human lives जिनके musical capacities are probably hardly any different from our own. But if you go back such a huge amount of time, 70,000, maybe 100,000, so then you will come at a point कि yes, इन लोगों का perception ability is different from us today. And the closing remark from the author when it comes to the last line of fourth para, highlighted for you, author ने एक strong assertion दिया है यहाँ पे कि ऐसा कोई स्पैन, एक ऐसा कोई टाइम पीरियड आपको नहीं मिलेगा where you can say कि इस moment of time के पहले people couldn't understand music, but suddenly overnight we developed the ability to perceive music. Author says this is not going to happen. Ability to grasp music is a gradual development. It is a gradual process. Okay, so with that in mind and the 4 points plotted before you on the screen, I hope that you have understood the passage. 2 broad takeaways from the narrative. Firstly, author is very confident when he says that all human beings or almost all human beings can perceive, can understand music. And secondly, this perception ability emerged in human beings gradually. It did not happen overnight. Slow and steady process. That's it. Okay. So in the second half of the passage, the author has moved on to emergence of music. And the first half, he was focused on human beings and their ability to perceive music, to understand music. Okay. So if this passage has given you a bit of a trouble, I would recommend that you plot down the 4 points the way I have mentioned before you on the screen. Pause the video, jot it down, and then we will move ahead to the question. Okay then. Okay, now coming to the questions, the very first question, very straightforward. Which of the following statements, if true, will end up weakening the author's assertion? Okay, and what is the assertion? That humans are music-king creatures. So just now in the explanation, we went through this part. The very first paragraph, author is very clear-cut about this, that all human beings, almost everyone, capable of understanding music. That is, humans are music-king creatures. And secondly, आप जो भी ये qualification, special exception cases आप डालने जाते हो, if you are one of these people, author is calling you, author is saying that नहीं भाई आपका ओपिनियन मैटर नहीं कर रहा, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो ओवरआर्चिंग ट्रूथ सही है. ठीक है. So one by one we have to go through the option and see which option ends up damaging this generalizing statement from the author. So now one by one, if you go through options A and B, so they are not actually damaging the author's claim anyway. Why? Because the author has not made any claim that music-king abilities are older than language or symbols. And secondly, nowhere is he implying the ability to understand music is super crucial to human survival. So option A and B, which imply कि नहीं music-king बाद में आया, language पहले था, और linguistic abilities are more important for survival. So author is not going to debate these points. He is simply concerned by saying that all humans can understand music. End of story. So this is where option C and comes damaging that point. How come? It says that the musical capacities, they are primarily socio-cultural, meaning that it depends on which society and which culture you come from. And because of that, very wide variety of music ka definition, very wide variety of musical forms you will get. And based on that, different capacities आपको मिलेगी human beings में with respect to understanding music. So this is where the author's opinion gets damaged heavily. Because as you can see the first paragraph, author wants to make a very generalizing statement. Today's human being, modern day human. तो आप कहीं पर भी हो, किसी भी सोसाइटी के हो, म्यूजिक आपको जमेगा. But option C says no, wait. It depends on your society and your culture. ठीक है? That is why it is the option. And anyway, option D goes down the drain because it is not weakening author's opinion. Rather, it is supporting it or just even repeating what the author has already mentioned. I'm highlighting it for you. The capacities involved in musicking, they are many in nature, and a lot of them arise from innate disposition, meaning that they arise from something which is inherent, which is already inside us. Okay. So option D is saying the same thing. And musicking arises from something which is already inside us. Okay. So A, B are irrelevant or even tangential to author's argument. D rather supports him. C properly weakens. Okay. So I hope that you have understood this question. Let's move on to the next one. And it goes without saying that if you have any kind of doubts, please drop them in the comment section. If you would like any additional help, any additional inputs from your end, more than glad to help you out. Okay, coming to the second question. Very good question. Generally, you have to proceed with a very calm and composed mind with this. Don't rush through such questions. Apply option 11. So here, first of all, keywords which map the entire passage properly. So one word has to be there, musicking, the one with the K. So option C, which very conveniently forgets to even mention that word. Okay, just mentioning single word, symbols, language, modernity. भाई हमारा म्यूजिकिंग कहाँ है वहां पे? कहीं भी नहीं है. So C immediately gets rejected. Next, option B is also very random. Why? Because it is focusing on this word antique, which is finding a very nominal mention over here in the first paragraph only, and nowhere else in the passage. Then it is talking about that symbol makers. Who are symbol makers? We don't know. And simply stating modernity. So kahin na kahin, it is missing the entire gist of what the passage wants to talk about. It is mentioning musicking at the start, yes, fair enough, but then loses the game altogether. Okay. Now come option A and B. Both upon first glance look really good, but if you dive deeper into the details, then you will see this that in option A, humans, psychological vantage, and musicking. These 3 points, all of them are encapsulated in the first paragraph itself. Okay. Psychological vantage point underlining over here. Got it. Human beings, humans तो पहला ही word है. चलो. And musicking is the word mentioned over here. So option A starts off on a bad footing by dedicating three crucial words to the first paragraph only. What about the remaining 2, 3, 4, 5? And then loses the game, drops the ball altogether by mentioning Cassirer, a guy who finds a very, very nominal mention over here in the third paragraph. Option A is forgetting the very important mention of linguistic capacities, blah, blah, which is mentioned in the second paragraph. Completely gayab ho gaya. And then, okay, tries to salvage the game by talking about emergence of music. The last point is fair enough. Musicking, third point is fair enough, but then not quite wholesome. On the other hand, what we have is a really well-made option D. It captures the entire gist really well. Humans and musicking, good. Yes, we do have linguistic capacities, good. Second para captured. Symbol making, third para captured properly. Okay, fair enough game. And modern humanity. Okay. Slightly off track, this last word, but on a comparative basis, far superior to what the remaining three options are giving us. Okay. I would have liked modern humanity ki jagah pe emergence of music in human life, something like that. Okay. But anyway, on a comparative basis, as I've mentioned, B far superior. That is why it becomes the answer. Okay. So with that in mind, I hope that you have understood this question. Once again, if any doubts, please go to the comment section, drop your doubts. More than glad to help you. And yes, if you're liking these videos, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Okay. Next, good question, easy to handle, not a big deal. Which of the following options is a valid inference when it comes to discussing emergence of music? Okay, meaning that we have to take a look at what the fourth and fifth para seem to be telling us. Okay, so yes, fourth para we have actually discussed, once again highlighting it for you, that if you go back 20,000 years, you will see that tab ke human beings ki musical abilities not different from our own today. So what option is giving us this? Option D, fourth one. 20,000 human years ago, human capacities were not very different from what they are today. A and B you can throw out immediately. Option C comes slightly close, but even though it is true, it is not concerned with emergence of music. It is concerned with what we have discussed over here in the first paragraph itself, that almost all human beings are capable of perceiving music, all that stuff. So although a standalone statement is true, option C, but it is not focused on emergence wala aspect of music. So that is why it gets kicked out. Okay. So the rest of the options are also fair enough, easy. So without wasting precious time, let's go to the next question. Okay. Suddenly the game is now switching to the first paragraph after going through the passage, after going to 2-3 questions. Thoda sa retention regarding the first passage becomes weaker. That is why positioning, getting such questions positioned at the end might turn out to be more challenging as compared to a situation if it is the first question. So what is the question saying? Think beyond all the qualification, blah, blah, blah. So what the author mentions in this. Author himself says that I made a bold statement. Humans today make music, very generalizing statement. And then he says that now people will come rushing, giving gyan, ki arey nahi, only certain humans can make music. A lot of training is needed. Societies distinguish ki kya music hota hai, kya nahi hota hai, blah, 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 blah. And author says, yaar, aap log na shant ho jao, please. All these opinions are moot, meaning no point, they are pointless, because what I'm giving you is a very broad, overarching truth. The language that he has used is one of a super confident guy. Okay. So what is the author trying to communicate through this statement? This is what the question is. So he simply says कि मैंने जो statement बोला है, it holds true. आप अपने special conditions, terms and conditions लाकर मुझे bore मत करो. So that is why answer becomes option C. That although there may be many caveat and other consideration, basically exceptions, the statement that the author has made is essentially true. He has himself used the word overarching truth. Okay? So that is why option C becomes the answer. Option B gets kicked out. Why? Because very generalizing and very deterministic. कि आप कोई भी bold statement उठा लो, वो हर बार followed रहेगा ही रहेगा by qualifying statements. No, not at all necessary. What we are concerned with is this particular bold statement, this one, and the caveat that follow here. The author is not making any claim कि बाकी bold, बाकी generalizing statements के बाद में क्या क्या होता है. But B is going off track that way. That is why it cannot be the answer. A and D, once again, you can reject very easily, very straightforward. And with that, we have wrapped up the discussion of the entire passage. If still there are any pending remaining doubts, please drop them in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.